Hello and welcome, internet friends. My name is Hunter and this is Distant Worlds 2. Last time we ended with completing the technological requirement for colonizing our first planet, this forest moon. I wasn't really paying enough attention because if you see here, this planet right here, Cloud, is also colonizable, and it's better, and it's in my starting system. So we're gonna do this next. Let's take a minute to talk about what our intent here is. Zoom ourselves out. So, to what we're going to call the Galactic West, we have this other human civilization, and we also, someplace around here, probably have those Akdarians. We haven't seen any of their worlds yet, but this is the star where we met them, so they're probably over here someplace, right next to these humans. We're just going to consider that part of the galaxy to be off limits. We're going to focus on moving towards the galactic edge, and this way, like this is where we're going to focus most of our exploration. Our random exploring ships are going to probably not do that for us. They're gonna go wherever they feel like. So once I have completed the two new exploration technologies we have queued, I am going to build my own ship to control again, and we're gonna take it in the directions that I want to go, just stopping at planets as I go to look what's in them and exploring anything that might be colonizable. We need to make money, so we need a bit of an economic push. In order to get to the point where I can make tourism start, I need to have a couple of things. We need basic recreation centers. We need basic transport systems. Those two things together are what we need in order to get our resource bases built and our passenger ship fleet started. As for early game military technology, we're not going to focus on that. We're going to instead retire the ships from the Ghost Fleet that, except for the one frigate that you get, because those ships are not remarkably better than my own, but they do have technological pieces that will help me move forward. So that's pretty much the thoughts right now. We're going to go down this economic route. Hopefully we can pick up proton ionization, advanced nuclear fission, maybe something else, some other stuff too, right? We might get early ion weapons or something up here, just through retiring those ships. We're gonna go into our ship designs here, and the hulls that we actually care about, we're gonna take them off automatic hull upgrade, because yes, it was noted to me that these automatic upgrades are what are causing me to get redundant ship designs. Those redundant ship designs are the computer updating my ships when I get technology because they're allowed to. We're just gonna tell them they can't. Also take off the construction ship and the explorer because I do change those enough that it matters, but everything else can stay on. You know what? Actually, we're going to remove the research station and the small spaceport because those are also things that I'd like to handle on my own. The last thing we're going to do in this menu at the beginning of this episode is I am going to, let me see, I'm going to split my two different types of ships between the two different kinds of specialized escorts. The reason for that is mostly it's for convenience, because they'll automatically upgrade because we can set them to upgrade by hull type, which will mean I won't have to keep doing weird stuff to get them to remember what their upgrades are. We want to tell this that it's latest design for hull. That way it will always upgrade now that we've separated the hull types. Just going to look down here and say this is what, 2 medium concussion missiles on these spots. In order to stop being over, we're going to remove, maybe 1 reactor will do it. Make us a little bit slow, makes our drives a little bit more inefficient, but I don't think that that's a big deal when we're talking about military ships. They don't really go very far early in the game. This is all fine. We're going to call this the Executor MB for missile boat I. Yes, I know that this can be done automatically, but I like my naming conventions better than the computers, so I do this. So that is our missile boat, and now we want to add a new patrol escort right here, and it is going to be railguns. Let's put a small railgun. Need to delete that. A medium railgun. Then we're gonna have to figure out how to make this fit. Take the proximity sensor off, and everything will be fine. Every ship doesn't need a proximity sensor. And they're mixed fleets, so some of the ships will have them and some of them won't, which should be fine. Of course, the other thing I could do because being able to go at full speed isn't helping this when it has ships in the fleet that can't. You take that off instead, which I think is a pretty good idea. Yeah, there's nothing I can really replace it with, but that may change in the near future. So they've called it the Questor, and we will call it Close Escort 1. We set it so that it use latest design for hull, save and exit, and there we go. So that's all set up. At this point, the thing we most need in order to move forward with our plans is money. It's going to be a big deal. These guys, I think, are probably out of colonization range, but there's some things we can do to kind of overcome that. I need at least one more strong steel base. A lot of these steel bases are not that good. Oh, that's good. Both of these are good. I would prefer the second one with something other than Menbar, but that's fine. That's perfectly fine. So let's take one of these 2225s. And we're also going to tell them that we want them to grab some silicon. Let's use the searcher so that we can identify silicon and get this done faster. We only have 2 silicon locations. One of them's in our home system and one of them's over there. We're going to take the one in our home system, and that should be good. That'll help us be able to build the things we want to. And we don't want to hit any resource bottlenecks when we're trying to do our expansion. At this point, what we need more than anything is our economy to develop. It might be a good idea to invest in things that will help it develop. Maybe another construction ship. Having more construction ships as we start to get more stations, so as we start to not have shortfalls on our required resources, can make it so that we can expand faster. They'll find themselves not stuck without things to do. Tech breakthrough from repairing the cruiser. Show me. How close is this to being done? Well, it's getting really close. I can't wait to get that cruiser in hand. Cruiser's going to make a big difference to my military. It might even make us strong enough to take out this thing. Something I'm definitely hoping for. And looking at our military here, as I said at the beginning of the episode, we are going to remove these because the technology they will get us is worth more than the ships. As you can see, our designs are already better than the computer-made designs. They're giving us 69 power, and these are giving us 53. We're about halfway towards being able to build that first colony ship. We want to build that as quickly as possible. The sooner we build it, the earlier in the game it reaches break even, and the earlier in the game it's helping us to become stronger. So we don't want to put that off. Early in the game, oftentimes you have good, well, at least in my experience, you have good overflow of money if you're not playing on limited resources settings. So that money is best used to invest in colonies, in my experience at least. I mean, there's lots of different ways to play it. You know what else we could be doing that I didn't even think about? We could be using our spies here. Like, one of our spies should be, let's have this guy here just do counterintelligence until canceled, and we'll have this guy go out, Pedri, and he's going to try to steal technology from the pirates that we have killed the ships of. So let's go to research information. The things I want most from these guys is medical systems and space commerce. I do need the recreation systems, but, you know, we'll actually focus on recreation systems to get them done sooner, so we'll assign this mission, and hopefully they can help us move that forward. So from retiring those ships, I have succeeded on getting the upgrade to engines so far, and the upgrade to reactors, which is great. Those are going to be very useful to me. Anything that doesn't require your Q in order to increase your military strength is good, because it's nice to use your Q on other things. I kind of wanted to do this, but I'm not gonna. I mean, I can't now because they took my money for the colony ship, so that colony ship is now going out. Okay, our spy evaded detection after successfully carrying out their mission to steal research on basic recreation systems. Awesome. Let's see how good he is. He got more than 50% of it, so that's actually probably not efficient. It's probably more efficient for us to tell him to do something else. So let's go to the Boscaran cartel. Let's go to steal research information. The other thing we need is transport systems, so we might as well throw him at that. Good work. Pedri, good work. We are halfway to being finished building our very first colony ship. I imagine there must be some kind of merit-based democratic selection system going on the planet right now to pick all the colonists that are going to go off to our first new world. It is kind of exciting, actually. And we have finished this, so let's investigate it. We have investigated an abandoned cruiser, Supreme Vindication, at Quirmea 4. It appears to be in good working order. We have boarded it and taken control. This is all the same every time you do this. That is a very powerful ship. We're going to immediately go to our fleets, and we're going to go to our like mishmash fleet here. Just basically, it has 2 ships that I accidentally built in overflow and the 1 frigate that we're keeping from the ghost fleet. I'm going to immediately add this to the 3rd fleet. This is the join fleet button right there. We will join up with them. And then I'm going to think about what we're going to do. There will be losses, and it will be costly, but I probably could defeat this base with what I have available. If we can succeed at defeating this base with what I have available, we can start to rebuild these ships and turn them in for a technology boost, which could be useful. Plus, we'll get a whole bunch of stuff from this ship blowing up, just like bonus materials that will probably make up for what we lose in military ships. So I think we're just going to do that right now. So let's go to our fleets. So first fleet, can you move here? Second fleet, can you move here? I need to set up keybinds for these fleets. Military fleets especially need keybinds, but so do manual explorers. And if I'm going to have a permanent manual explorer, I probably need to do something about that right away. That fleet is still quite a ways off. That's not right. There we go. That's the right button. Insert. Insert is the medium zoom. All right, so this is now done, which is great. Gives us a perfect time to upgrade our utility ships. These aren't going to be interesting upgrades, I don't think so. I'm just going to do the upgrade and then explain it afterwards. So for our construction ship here, all I've done is filled all the empty slots with fuel so that they'll be able to go out further. We have our new fuel cells in place, which is pretty much automatic, and the new fission reactors. Not that interesting an upgrade, but it will help. Now that my gaze looks beyond my own system, there's the extra cost definitely is worth making the ships as long range as possible, because these guys decide what we can claim and exploit out there. So let's just save this, then I'll come back once I've done the exploration ships. Okay, so for this update on our explorer ships, I've added the resource scanner, I've added the advanced survey module as opposed to the one that it starts with. I mean, it upgraded that on its own, and I also decided to just bite the bullet and give them some armor and shields. At this point, now that they're exploring more out in unknown systems, they're going to meet space monsters, and we can save a lot of resources by making it easier for them to warp out before they're destroyed. No weapons, so that they don't think their job is to fight ever, but, you know, defenses can make them better able to flee. That's at least my design philosophy about this, so let's just save and exit. We're not upgrading our military ships right now because those updates would be pretty small. All right, our agent has successfully completed their mission to steal information on basic transport systems. That should mean that that'll complete pretty quickly as well. I guess we should decide what we're doing next then, now that these are almost done. I need commerce, so he'll go after commerce next. I need medical systems to improve my space stations. What else are we gonna do though? There are so many choices at different points in time. We could go after patrol ships so we can move up to frigates. We go to boarding, we can head towards starfighters. Improve our weapon systems. I think this is starting to get necessary because our ships are starting to feel a little slow. Oftentimes my cutting edge technology is just hyperdrive. We're starting to get into the planet settling stage, so there's a lot to be said about like planetary governance, because the Planetary Administration Center is actually quite good. It can help push new colonies to their break-even point fast, which is actually super important because we want them to be profitable. I mean, they're going to be profitable one day anyway, and the basic principle of starting something early in a 4X game so that it's doing its job for the maximum number of turns applies to this game as much as any other. There's lots of other good things though, like terraforming can really help as well, especially on those planets that are close to that 20 breakpoint. Also, these can help. Our first two, I mean, we're going to have a grasslands and a forest right away, so I think we're going to put this into the queue. It's a big investment though. There's also an ocean world inside of my own system, but it's a long way away from being a suitable target. At this point, we don't need to really rush technologies in the military sense because our ships are good enough for what we're going to find this early. And we don't have any hostile neighbors that we have to worry about staying ahead of. I think we're going to put planetary governance in there. This is going to be our queue. It's quite economic, but because we rushed military ships, we don't have to worry about them for a while. The ones we have right now will serve most of our purposes for the early game. We got to manage these ships because they will always engage. So let's just see if there's anything we can do here. Use ship tactics instead of fleet. Use fleet tactics instead of ship. Do not engage. We'll try doing that. Also put do not engage there. That's what I think. Okay, can you stay in not engaging? Because when you go in there by yourselves, you get hurt, and when you get hurt, you will not be strong for when we have to do the thing we're actually targeting doing. All right, new colony time. Gwisik is now colonized, so it's too early in the game for me to have anything to build, but this is a good time to talk about how I do space stations. I do not build tons of military stations. They don't really help. They do help a little bit. I don't want to give the impression they don't help. Like, they will hold enemies off if you got lots of fleets for a short period of time, but you can't depend on a station for them. I only really build them in places where I expect big attacks to happen to delay things. If a planet is, like, some of my planets will have smaller space stations that are just for the purposes of putting up a research base. So we're going to build a station like that right now. To add new hull, we're going to go to a small spaceport. This hull will never increase throughout the whole game. We're going to auto-generate it. So the commercial port here is designed to be an inexpensive, small-hulled spaceport to hold a medical center, a commerce center, and a recreation center, plus a research lab for every single one of our planets. And we're only going to put the more advanced, larger-hulled ports, the military ones, at planets of significance. Like places where we think we're likely to get attacked, or, you know, just every once in a while so that we can create the idea of sector controls. These small ones are designed to be super cheap, and thus there should never be a reason not to build them as long as we have the resources. Just save and exit. They also give them a place to store stuff in space, which can be good, and it gives us more places to build ships from, which is also good. All right, that's done. We literally just finished basic transport systems, which means we're going to have to go right back into that menu, send our spy back out, back to the pirates. Research information here. We want you to research, I guess basic medical systems is a good idea. And with the basic transport systems done, we should be able to build our first resort stations, which we will also let upgrade on its own because we don't really manage civilian ships. I don't really manage civilian ships. So let me see here. Add a new one. We want to go to resort station. Because we could auto-generate it, that means that we have everything we need for it. We'll just use the default name. I'm not convinced how much they need these weapons, but I'm also not convinced they don't need them. So we'll just leave this as it is. Civilian here. And then we'll look at resort locations, and we'll build one here and one here. All of our exploration ships are out here retrofitting to the new design that has the better scanners on it, which is really what we want to have happen. You got me, guys. You got me. You got me. Got me. Not much I can do here except to just tell you guys to get in there and surround it and fight it. All right. Unfortunately, it's not the kind of company we wanted. Take me to the... Are you being attacked by pirates? Okay, these guys are offering us protection. Obviously, we're not doing that. Leave this ship alone. We always knew we were going to take losses in this. The losses are not unexpected, so we should be able to recover it pretty quickly, I think, as long as we don't lose any of the truly expensive ships. So you guys can go and repair. In fact, everybody go and repair. You guys go and repair. Right in the middle of attacking that station, those damn pirates attacked us over here. There's very little that I can do about this right now because all of my fleets are in post-battle condition, and I really can't help until they're shipshape. These guys are definitely going to get away with some of our precious resources, which sucks, but, you know, it's early. There's no way you can cover every point, and I will have my revenge, I assure you. Alright, so that went pretty good. Our fleets are being reorganized. The second fleet isn't fully repaired, but it's very nearly fully repaired, so we've sent them out to the Ghost Fleet to help defend that side of our controlled space. Our other two fleets are going to take some time to repair because they have stranded ships here. And so they're going to need construction ships to help them out, but that's fine. We're not going to worry about that too much. Clearing this station out of here was definitely worth it. There are a lot of ships here that we can repair with construction ships eventually and take apart for technology. We're going to set Cloud here, which is up here in our home system. It's this moon right here as a new planet for colonization. So this is going to become my manual ship once it's built. And we're going to use it to basically begin exploring up in this direction. What is here? This is a rocky ice planet, so nothing really useful. I do want to eventually take these guys over, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be more trouble than it's worth at this point in time. This definitely doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. Our guy is back, so let's send him out again. Keep him stealing research. A lot of this stuff is really good, but I'd prefer to continue with the easy early game ones because they're just so likely to succeed. Don't know how much I care about any of them. We could try to get defense missiles. I think we're going to try to get defense missiles. This is a technology that could be useful for us. Okay, we've completed the basic medical research, which means we probably should upgrade our stations. There are a lot of severely damaged ships here. Many of them are the old ships that were stranded here, and some of them are my own ships. Yeah, we definitely have construction ships coming out to deal with this, which is good. Let's look at our explorers. So we have no mission with this new explorer. I'm going to send it, let's see, to here. Oh, it's not finished yet. Like literally seconds from being finished, but it actually isn't quite finished yet. Now it is, of course, but I'm just talking. Send them there. Yeah, they were built down here. That's cool. I like it when we get built at both locations, although I probably wish I could choose that better, but I can choose it. I'm just not. I just have to go there and select it from its own queue instead of separately. I will definitely find out about those ruins. Darien Undersea Ruins, where are those? Yeah, I will accept a military treaty with you for refueling. Detailed maps. So we're going to start finding things in the wreckage for a bit. It's going to spam our notifications because that's a thing. Because they're now basically they're getting all the stuff from the space station that we blew up. Mega spam. Fine, let's just pretend like that's not scrolling badly. And look what we find over here. So what is here? Literally a single metallic asteroid. Nothing at all. Okay, at this point, I'm really hurting myself by not setting keybinds. So we're going to start setting our keybinds. Our keybinds are going to be... Our one exploration ship gets one That's not right. We got to do these in order. And then the rest of our fleets are keybound just in the order that they occur. Hopefully we get these repairs done pretty quick. Another successful mission. Let's send him to do the same thing again. I want you to finish. Defensive missiles should be right near the top, right? Yeah, I want you to finish defense missiles. You seem to be gaining experience, which is nice. Good job. I'm gonna keep you out there working. Maybe someday, Pedri, you will be good enough to go on some real questionable, immoral missions for us in the future. You know? So now it's starting to want us to assign these, which we definitely want to do. These are definitely valuable and worth it. We'll assign those. Let's look at our construction ships here. They're getting most of their work done, which is good. Are there any... Let's look at these by priority now. So this is a lot of polymer, which we definitely could use, but it's assigned. This is Moral Carlson. Where is this planet? So this planet is... I mean, it's not a necessary place for a fuel base, but I mean, fuel is always useful, so I don't have a problem with that. This moss. You want to pick this up? We're not making enough Cuprica, so we will pick this up. It should give them some tasks to do in addition to their work on the ships for a while. Keep things going. You want to go to our buddy here. They have discovered a whole system here worth looking at. Ice moon, frozen gas planet, tundra planet, brown dwarf, nothing, rocky moon, nothing, carbonaceous planet, and the main star. So nothing there we can use to expand towards them. Let's look at our ship's fuel. Our fuel is actually pretty good still. Really would like to expand in their direction. We do have to start thinking about spending our money on them, but I want the colonies out first. I want to be able to, once we get to the point where we're actually focusing on them, I want to be able to put a colony ship out and sit it in orbit of their planet so that I can make absolutely sure that it hits them when there's a 100% chance, because I don't want there to be any waste or accidental misfires. Sometimes a weird, I don't know if it's a bug or if it's just the way the system works, if you don't actually investigate it, it sometimes forgets the ship is yours and makes it neutral and you can't move it. So I always click investigate as a default. It's happened to me recently enough. Happened to me in one of my test games before I started this one. And so it does exist. Like if you just tell them not to tell you about the ship, it will, you can click on the ship but not move it. I'm not sure why that is, but it could be because I'm doing something wrong. They want a limited trade agreement. If we offer them some money, it thinks they'll accept the limited trade agreement. I would prefer to wait until they just accept it naturally because I don't have money to throw away right now. I'm gonna actually look at this ship and see if it has anything. Oh yeah, the heavy railgun especially. That is a technology that is near to where I am and that I actually do need. There's a lot of stuff in here that makes this a worthwhile target for retiring. It is a strong ship though, but I'm not at the point in the game where I need ships better than what I can build myself. Absolutely, I'd like to know where those are. You know, I should head out here to the map in general and just look and see. So this is what they've told us about. So this is clearly this. Oh, and that they actually told us where their capital is. Like they didn't, like not the civilization, but the pirates. The last time I bought the ruins location, it was the Akdarian ruins that starts on their capital. So that's why it showed me where that is. So I now know where they are, and it is where I predicted, past this planet in this direction. That's fine. We're good with that. There's a lot to work with in here, but not a lot of colony planets in here. We completed defense missiles from our espionage, which is good. He's just getting better, which is great. His concealment is up. His espionage is getting up. He's close to getting higher and higher with them. We're just going to keep going with the people that we've been stealing from. System patrol starships. That's frigates. Starfighters. I think we're gonna do frigates. Okay, investigate the deadly gauntlet. Take me to it. Click on it. Dismiss this. And retire them. We have founded our new colony at Cloud. Show me. This grassland's moon. Okay, this system has an ice planet. Sandy moon. There's a continental moon there. Desert savanna. Okay, we're gonna immediately check, investigate this. Dismiss this, and then we're going to immediately send our friend to look at this. So we have found an abandoned base up there and assign that mission. Maybe story related, probably is story related. We probably have actually went to it to determine if it was dangerous before I did that. I mean, it doesn't specifically look dangerous, so we'll assume it's not. Look at this. Okay, so they are attacking us here. Show me. So we're gonna take this fleet and we're going to attack in support. Can you guys go in and fuel? It'd be nice. He evaded detection again and successfully got information on system patrol ships. Awesome. Let's send him right back out. There is no reason at all to not just keep doing this. If you lose them, you're still better to have used them than you are to have them doing nothing. So I'm gonna immediately send them out again to do system patrol ships, because I would love to get that this way. Am I able to build the small commercial port here? I am finally able to build the commercial port here. That's great. We should also check up here to see if we can build a commercial port up here. Just pause. More important than pausing though, we should slow it down a bit. Things are getting a little bit overwhelming. Too much stuff happening at once, which is a good sign that you should slow for at least a bit. We can also build a commercial port here, which is great. Those will help our research and other things. I'm gonna upgrade those though. So, commercial port, small space port, we've let them upgrade automatically. And yeah, I think that that's enough for this episode. We have colonized 2 worlds, which we're beginning to develop. We have increased our exploration and understanding the area around us. We're getting pretty balanced economically. I mean, I haven't really looked at it, but I'm certain that it is. So yeah, our maintenance is getting a little high, but that's what has to happen. And yeah, we're doing pretty well. I would say let's look at our maintenance here. Not military. Look at our funding levels. Take our reserves down. We could actually take reserves to 0 because overflow always goes to reserves. And taking it to 0 means we're not like taking money from it when we have extra and we don't have to. It goes to other things. Could also help our science be more likely to cap. See where our science is right now. So maximum potential, it's actually not even close to maximum potential. Something we have to fix. That's an economic problem. That is definitely an economic problem we have to solve. We're gonna have to think about ways to do that. But as I said earlier in the episode, when you're developing new colonies early on, there's always a period of sort of low economy, and the main outcome of that is that you don't always get maximum science. You'll still get technology from you'll still get money from your civilian purchases, which means you'll be able to still do things. But it is really, really bad for science at the beginning, which is one of the reasons why I think it's so important to actually use espionage early on when it's most effective. With that, thank you for watching. My name is Huntner. This has been our very hard Distant Worlds game. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider giving the episode a like or leaving a comment. I especially like tips. I haven't played this game in a long time, so there's a lot of things that I am missing now that I used to know or that have changed since the recent updates, and I am very happy to take advice from anyone who's taken the time to write a comment. If this isn't your first time here, you might find that it's a good idea to subscribe, because, you know, if you come here and had a good time twice or 3 times, that might mean you'll find things in the future you like. But I appreciate the views, even from those of you who aren't subscribed, and I'm very happy just to have you coming by and checking out the channel. And I hope that you will consider coming by and checking out the channel again the next time we are here playing Distant Worlds with our Cormira. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Coromea, I think is how I've been doing it mostly, with our Coromea Human Empire.